Okay, so here's a quick video on short division, which you've touched on anyway this year. So a sum is short division if it's a number with two or more digits divided by a single digit number. So that's what we've got here. We've got a 3-digit number divided by a single digit number. So we know straight away it's short division. Some key points when you're dealing with short division. So the smaller number is called your divisor. That's the number that's being divided into the bigger number, and your greater number is called the dividend. That's just for your language of maths. So how many divisors fit into the dividend? That's what we're about to find out. I spoke about in the tables that division is all about sharing things equally. So how many groups of 8 could we make out of this? Or how many times will 8 fit into this? So you put the greater number, the dividend, in the frame. So your short division frame is usually a downwards frame. It doesn't have to be. So you put the dividend in there. That's the bigger number. Always goes in there. So I put my 240 there, and my 8 goes outside it. Okay, now you begin by dividing your divisor, that's 8 in this case, into the first figure inside the frame. So there's my first figure, 200s. That's important because in multiplication, addition, and subtraction, you always start with your units first, but this time we start with the biggest place value, so 200s here. Now, I won't go explaining the carrying and renaming here in depth because I don't have time. I'll just use the concise language that you've built up now at this stage. So, and the final point is any number into 0 goes 0 times. That's important because we've got a 0 in that, so it always goes 0 times. So let's start by dividing our divisor 8 into the first figure here. So 8 into 2 cannot go because 8 is bigger than 2. So a bigger number can't fit into a smaller number. So it goes 0 times remainder 2. There was 2 left over. 8 into 24 goes 3 times evenly. 8, 16, 24. Remainder 0. 8 into 0, we know from our final rule, any number to 0 goes 0 times, goes 0. So my answer is 30. Now in third and fourth class, you don't use decimals, you just use remainders if it doesn't go in evenly. So I have one down here that's has remainders in it. So we can see here our dividend is 3,532 and our divisor is 7. So how many times will 7 fit into 3,532? I've got my comma. Let's try it. So I'll draw my frame first of all. Of course, my bigger number goes inside my frame, my dividend. Put my 7 to the left. Starting my 7 into the number on the left, the greatest place value, that's 3,000 here in this case. So 7 into 3. 7 is bigger than 3, so it won't fit into it. It's going to go 0 times remainder 3. I'm carrying my 3 up here. 7, 35 goes 5 times, remainder 0. 7 into 3 goes 0 times because 7 is bigger than 3. Remainder 3. 7 into 32. Let's count up on 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Now I'm counting too far. So 7, 14, 21, 28. That's 4 times. Remainder 4. So my answer, third and fourth class maths, is 504, remainder 4. For anyone who wants to push themselves, you can use decimal points. Use that in 5th and 6th class. I'll show you a really quick example here. So if I wanted to do the same sum but answer it with 2 places to the decimal, that's 2 numbers after a decimal point, you do it like this. So anybody who is finding the letters too easy, try it this way. 7 into 3 goes 0 times, remainder 3. 7 into 35 goes 5 times, remainder 0. 7 into 3 goes 0 times, remainder 3. 7 into 32, like I said, it goes 4 times, remainder 4, and you add a decimal point and a 0. Now I'm saying 7 into 40. I put my decimal point down here as well. 7 into 40 goes 5 times, remainder 5. Put up my decimal, my 0 onto that again. 7 into 50 goes 7 times, because 7 sevens are 49, remainder 1, but I only wanted to get it to 2 places after a decimal point. So that's a little bit of an extra challenge for those who think they're up to it. So I'll add a list of short division questions to the work and see how we get on with them.